Jamin.
Hey, good morning. It is Monday, April 14th, 2025. Tanner, Drew, and Laura, we are live. La 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 live. Hey. All right, coming up today, we've got a lot of stuff to do. We're very excited for the tickets that we have this morning. Breaking Benjamin, also known as B-Break on the Street.
Yeah,
bap,
baby.
Bap, bap. Mm-hmm. Also, 3 Days Grace. It's going to be a great show, man. They're headlining together. Mm-hmm. I've seen Breaking Benjamin once, but I was dating this girl at the time that wanted to leave early. And so I only saw, I don't even feel like I saw half the show.
Oh, that's lame.
I'm sure I did. I'm sure I saw half, but I was just bitter about it.
Yeah, it felt like you were robbed of your time.
Yeah, because I didn't see the big songs that I wanted to see. Diary of Jane I didn't hear live.
Probably because they play it all in the encore.
Right.
And the move is to leave before the encore to miss the traffic.
And I remember I was kind of bitter about it. That was, I think, the last time we really hung out because I was kind of bitter about it. She wanted to leave early to beat the traffic, and I get it. And normally I would be all on board for that, but I'd never seen B-Break before.
Yeah.
Right.
And I wanted
to check that out.
And I think that was with, I want to say that was with Nine Inch Nails or somebody. It was somebody good.
So when there's two headliners, how do you decide who goes last on any given night?
I wonder if they rotate.
That's what I'm thinking, because this is a co-headlining show.
Yes.
So I bet you one night one band goes first and they just rotate.
Yeah. So do we know which way we get it? Because if B breaks early, then you're less likely to get robbed by whoever you take.
Yeah, because they both have a lot of songs, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A buttload of songs. I think it was 3 Days Grace and
Shinedown
that battled for the most number one songs on the radio.
Yeah.
For rock.
So even just radio singles, 3 Days Grace has a bunch.
Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a crazy show, and one of the reasons I'm so excited for it, I was thinking about it this morning just coming in, is that 3 Days Grace has two singers now.
Yeah.
And, they had that one guy, what was his name, Adam?
I don't know.
Yeah, some dude. Anyway, it could be Joe for all
Adam,
I know.
Steve, whatever.
But they had this one singer, and he left the band, and his brother stepped in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the other dude decided to come back, and now they're both singing for the band.
All in the family.
Which is rad.
Both singers are brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes the coexisting a little easier.
Yeah, right. And they sound really similar. So tickets to that show all week. First chance is coming up here at 7:30 this morning. Also, you may have heard the keyword at the top of the hour. Casquatch is back for your chance at $1,000 every single hour.
Yep.
We're going to give you the keyword again right after the big story.
Let's get it on. And now the big story.
So we go around the room sharing what we think the biggest stories of the day are. Laura, you want to go first?
I can go first. I think the big story is that the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, aka the DEQ, their vehicle test stations are reopening following that big cyber attack on the agency. So they haven't really been able to do their job since then.
Oh,
but
no.
The Medford test station opens today. The Portland test stations resume operations tomorrow. And unfortunately, if you've got to hit the DEQ, they say drivers should expect longer lines than usual because they were closed last week. So just prepare for that. The DEQ2 system for third-party businesses to conduct vehicle inspections, those remain shut down. So just be aware of
man,
that.
let's just get rid of the DEQ altogether.
It's a matter of time, right? Because newer cars don't have to do it.
It's aging out, but how long do we continue to put? If we're trimming government money everywhere,
Right?
Yeah, I got
Come
one
on
for
now,
you.
yeah.
All right. Well, the big story to me is another thing in the great state of Oregon. The minimum wage will increase 2.4% for all minimum wage employees on July 1st. Now, that is not the same for everyone when it comes to how much money you make for minimum wage, and not everybody realizes that in the city, in the Portland region, it's $16.30 as of July 1st. Standard increase is the medium. That's $15.05. And if you're in the non-urban, if you're out in the sticks, $14.05. Still pretty good compared to the old days of grinding for $5-6.
Right. I think the big story of the day is Blue Origin is set to launch an all-female crew today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pop star Katy Perry will be on board.
Yeah, that's right.
As will co-host of CBS Morning's Gayle King, among the 6 notables. They'll be joined by Jeff Bezos' fiance and former journalist Lauren Sanchez, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowie, research scientist, a bunch of people. You don't know who they are.
And they're all going to do the touch the tip of space thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. That the penis-shaped one.
Yeah.
Of course.
The event is billed as a history-making flight since an all-female crew was involved in a Russian cosmonaut who became the first woman in space on a solo mission back in 1963.
Yeah,
Okay.
throwback.
Wow. So.
Well, that's exciting. So they're just going to go up and come back down real quick.
yeah. Yeah. Right.
And we're bringing Katy Perry.
Okay.
yeah. And she.
Good.
Oh gosh. Do you think that she's gonna like?
She better sing.
Why she's up there? Because baby, I'm a fire.
Probably.
If she doesn't sing
Yeah.
it all the way up,
Yeah.
they've been robbed of an experience.
To
I
sing
don't
it in
know.
zero G is something else.
If I were her co-pilots or whatever they're called, I'd be like, okay, girl, we get it. Time to-
got the sky.
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm trying to enjoy my experience.
Roar.
Yeah, that's great. All right, more on those stories at 1059thebrew.com.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Happy Monday. I thought I was going to have to call in this morning.
Uh-oh.
And not call in sick. So I let Cooper outside, and I usually stand there for a couple minutes because he only takes he'll take like a minute or two. You know, he wants to get in and out. He's a pampered house pup.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like 2 or 3 minutes go by, and I'm still standing there, and so I decided to like run upstairs and turn the shower on, get it warmed up. Come back downstairs, and he's still not there. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And at this point, I'm starting to get concerned.
Right.
Because like I go out on the deck and I go, Cooper, and I don't hear anything. I don't hear like the grass shuffling around or anything. And then I start to panic because sometimes the yard guys come in and they don't like secure the door shut.
Yeah.
Oh, the gate door?
Yeah, like the gate will swing open and I won't notice because mostly it's pretty good. And usually Cooper's pretty good about not running off.
Yeah.
He's never run off. I've never lost him in his whole life. you
Yeah.
know? And so I wake up this morning, go in the backyard, and he's nowhere to be found.
Oh, no. Was the gate open?
Gate was wide open.
Oh.
Like not just a little bit, like wide open.
Yeah.
I don't know how if the wind blew it last night or if someone was sneaking around. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I got to go look at the cameras and see when I get home. But I go outside and go, and I'm trying to be like quiet because it's super early.
Right. You're not trying to wake up
Yeah.
the entire neighborhood.
And I'm like doing it to my teeth, Cooper,
Yeah.
Cooper, where are you? And I'm doing,
Yeah.
doing all the little
the
noises.
cat thing. Yeah.
I'm doing all the noises that I can think of, and he's not. I don't see him anywhere. So I like run in the house. First, I have to run back down the hill to my yard.
Right.
Because I came through there. So the front door was locked.
You got to go back around.
And I'm in panic mode. You
Go
know,
inside, get some begging strips.
I didn't get
shake some
anything.
treats.
I just grabbed my shoes, and I'm still in my boxers and t-shirt.
Oh.
And I jump in my car.
Yeah.
And I start driving around the block, and I see him like a block down the street, just peeing on a bush.
Oh, he's like, I just decided to take myself for a stroll.
Yeah. And
So does he ever dart off like that? Or
Never.
Was this a
So
one?
just a one-off, he's never done it. He was just sniffing around, just going on a little joy walk or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get out of the car because I'm mad. I'm hot, and but I still have to be quiet and go, Cooper, bad boy, what are you doing? And I'm starting to come down, and I'm upset, but I'm like relieved. 'cause
Yeah,
I
So are
Yeah.
you
found
in
him.
found him.
boxers still? Or have
Still
you-
in just underwear.
Oh, man.
But it's dark. Nobody
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I guess
But it's starting to get light a little earlier. So
No, yeah.
You only had a
Yeah.
little more time left.
yeah, a couple minutes. But I'm sitting there in boxers, bright red boxers, like cherry red boxers.
Naturally.
And like a dirty white t-shirt. Just
Yeah.
So did he know he was in trouble?
Yeah.
Or did he give you the eyes
He,
like,
he got low to the ground.
oh yeah, he's like,
yeah.
All I had to do
trouble.
was just the tone.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
He knew.
But then I can't stay mad for very long.
I know. Well, that's
Give
good.
me a treat.
I'm glad he wasn't far away.
Me too. Because I thought I was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to call those guys because I'm not coming in and like having my dog run around the
there's,
streets.
Right.
I would freak out. I couldn't do the show.
No,
Yeah.
your dog can't be on the loose. You'd have to find him.
Yeah. So anyway, I found him, took a power shower, made it. But boy,
Nice.
was I flipping out this morning. I hate
Yeah.
having
And
to do that
luckily,
in the
he
morning.
was a block down the road. I mean, imagine like a 20-minute hunt, and then he's like just under a tree.
There's one
sniffing
time-
his
Yeah,
own
right.
butt.
My little dog Bear, who passed, he ran off once, and I had to print flyers out. He was gone for like a whole day.
I remember
no.
that. That was intense.
I was so upset, thinking like, "Oh, I lost him. I'm a terrible person." And then I put flyers out everywhere. I must have printed like 50.
Where
flyers.
was he?
Someone just found him on the street and picked him up. He was like 2 blocks away, a block or two
Okay.
away at a house, and they saw the photos and called me and told me to come
That's
pick him up.
good. So the
But when I-
flyers work.
The flyers worked, but when I came to pick him up, the little girl had like attached to him.
Oh no.
Cried. I felt terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's my dog, kid. Sorry.
And that dog was so little, like anything could have got that dog. It was so lucky that it was at a house, though.
For
Yeah,
sure.
like a big bird could come by.
Yeah,
and
it was
Yeah, like a
take
hawk.
dog.
And even light, like predator light, would still
Yeah.
get that dog.
All right, this hour's keyword for your chance at $1,000, because you may have noticed early this morning that Cash Squatch is back.
Yep.
Yeah. What would you buy with $1,000, Laura, if you got $1,000?
Man, probably nothing exciting. Probably pay off some credit card debt.
That's a responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
Very responsible thing to do. What about you? Drew, you just got that brand new Weber grill from winning the
Oh,
Beat My Meat
yeah.
competition Friday. Maybe some new meats from
Go
Gardner's?
back to Gardner's.
Honestly, fill up a freezer at Gardner's sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Very good. Well, this hour's keyword for your shot at the money is green. So log on right now to 1059thebrew.com. As soon as you get there, a box is going to pop up. Just type in the keyword green. We got a text from Mighty Nick this morning. It said, "Hey guys, just letting you know the contest page for Cash Squatch keeps saying unavailable. I think what happens is so many people are flooding it at once just because I tried it and it didn't work the first time, and then I tried it again like immediately afterwards, and then it worked. So
Okay.
Just give it another try.
Because I think when the keywords air, it just gets flooded with people.
Yeah.
And it might just take a second. So just try it again.
Cash Squatch breaking the internet.
Yeah.
That's right.
1059thebrew.com is a website. Enter the keyword green and then just watch your phone because we could call you back in minutes with the cash. 1059thebrew.com.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
And now, Bruce Sports. Here's Drew.
Well, it all went down yesterday. The Masters, which is the Super Bowl of golf, and it was Rory McIlroy going for history. Now, Rory is the guy who's won all the other big ones. He's won the Open Championship, the PGA, and the U.S. Open. So if you were to win the Masters, then you've got the EGOT of sports, as Laura called it earlier. Yeah. But it is a grand slam. It takes you into another, just basically jumps you up a group into the area with the Jack Nicklauses and the Ben Hogans and the Tiger Woods of the world. Only 6 people to ever do it, and Rory was able to capture it after a wild ride. They were calling it the Rory Coaster because it was up and down. Now, I had my cash on Rory to make history, as I did have my cash when he had the huge lead at the U.S. Open and blew it to Bryson DeChambeau. So it was a glorious moment as it went to a playoff. And in that final playoff hole, Rory, who had let himself collapse before, said that he had intended on keeping himself in a bubble on Sunday, but he admitted that once he got to the 13th hole and had leaked some strokes, that he had to look at the board, and that's when everything changed. Rory said this about keeping it together.
The bubble probably burst for a little bit, and I was able to steady myself and make some really good swings coming in, and look, I had a chance to win it in regulation. It didn't quite happen, but again, I had to reset, and I played a perfect playoff hole and was able to get it.
Oh, I cut it off there, but he was able to get it done, and he hit his knees right there on the green. And finally, Chauncey Billups signs a multi-year extension to stay with the Portland Trail Blazers, and I actually love this. He's building this team defense heavy and some young blood looking good on this squad. Rip City, go Blazers. There's your sports.
Thank you much. Coming up in a little under an hour, we got tickets to go see Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace all this week. They're co-headlining a show together in October at the Tanner, Drew, and Laura Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And we want to send you there. 7:30 this morning, listen to Win. We also have to talk to Drew, of course, about his win Friday. Tanner, Drew, and Laura's first ever Beat My Meat competition. Drew came out victorious.
Yep.
Beating Lettuceface.
Yes.
And a unanimous decision, by the way.
Yep. It was 5 out of 5 judges.
Right.
It's a wild ride.
We'll get into that. We'll talk to Lettucehead later on this morning to see how he's doing.
Okay. I wonder if he's still
Lettuce is
wearing
spoiled.
that rotten lettuce.
I think he
around
left
his
it in here.
neck.
When I left the studio on Friday, I saw it sitting in the studio.
How dare he?
I know.
He wasn't loving his new hardware that he got us.
Walk around smelling like a salad.
There's bugs on it now.
Yeah, he's gonna go through it this week, but
Yeah.
that's what happens. He lost the first competition, so that's what needs to happen.
He'll be a better barbecuer because of it.
That's right. It's all coming up. Hang on.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Now, what's trending?
All right, online at 1059thebrew.com, we got lots of good stuff to check out. So over the weekend, Coachella went down.
Yeah.
Where does Coachella happen at? Is that California?
Yeah, Indio, California.
Indio, California.
Yep.
Well, a bunch of bands performed like Thundercat. I know how much you love Thundercat.
I don't even know Thundercat.
Thundercat.
I have no idea who the hell that is. Also, Portugal the Man was there, which I believe is from Portland, actually. My friend's their manager.
Yeah.
Bozo the Clown is also at Coachella. I don't know.
Cool.
Okay.
I thought that they have like the biggest stars in the world at Coachella.
Yeah, I think like Billie Eilish, or no, maybe not
Weezer,
Billie Eilish
I know.
this year, but Lady Gaga headlined one night, and
Do they do 2 weekends of Coachella?
Yeah.
So Weezer must be next weekend or
Okay.
something.
well,
But-
no, because Weezer and Ed Sheeran were added at the last minute because somebody else dropped out. So Weezer did this weekend,
Okay,
and Ed
all right.
Sheeran is doing next weekend.
So there it is. Also, who performed over the weekend at Coachella was the great Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh,
Yes,
fun.
now we're talking.
He surprised everybody. He came out, but it actually performed a bunch of songs. But here's him singing "Rainbow Connection."
I've heard it too many times to ignore it. Something that I'm supposed to be.
Great Weird Al Yankovic.
Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
boy.
La-di-da-di-da-da-doo.
If you're tripping balls out in the crowd,
Yeah, you're like, what?
it's happening right
Is
now.
this real?
Spent $700 on a bottle of water. By the way, that was just the water.
Yeah.
And here comes Weird Al.
Dude, Coachella seems like the 7th circle of hell. I would
doesn't-
never want to go. I just spend all that money to see bands I don't even know or DJs I've never heard of next to a girl filming a TikTok. I'd rather die.
And I've also heard that you can't even take booze. Like when you buy booze in like the areas that you can buy booze, you can't take it into like the general area. So you have to drink it
Lame.
in your own little fenced off area and then go.
That is awful.
Jeez.
I mean, if you're at a concert where you're spending, like you're having to donate a lung to get in
Right.
there, let a person have a cold Coors Light.
Try to bury some vodka before the concert.
Oh,
Yes, oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Dig it up when you're there. But yeah, Coachella doesn't seem like a great place.
It's a young man's game.
People
you
were stuck in
camp?
traffic. Yeah, you camp
Yeah,
there.
you
People
can
were stuck
camp.
in traffic just to get to the campsites for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. And it sounds
And
miserable.
A lot of people get Airbnbs, but they're like $2,000 a night.
Yeah.
Because they just bump up the prices.
I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
I'd build one right there and just
Yeah.
squeeze people.
Now, festivals look fun. I want to go to a festival. Just not that festival.
I used to want to go to Coachella just to say I've experienced it, but now I've gotten to an age where I'm like,
You'd go there and be grumpy the whole time.
maybe not. Yeah.
See,
You would be miserable.
You know, like you go to a place like the Gorge where you camp and you walk down the little street and you go to this awesome venue.
Yeah.
And you don't go through all that crap. Like I'd say you go like festival light is what I call it.
I
Yeah.
would totally go to a giant or festival light out at
Yeah.
the Gorge. I've never been to the
well,
Gorge. actually.
Sasquatch.
You'd
what,
love it.
really?
Yeah.
It's because Sasquatch Music Festival, that's what it was called, right? It used to be out at the Gorge. And then
Yeah,
they
but
got
there
rid of
hasn't
it.
really been anybody. Dave Matthews Band doesn't get me out of the Gorge, you know?
No,
Like, there's got to
yeah.
be somebody who's really going to be great.
Sure.
I've seen him out there, and you sitting cold on a hill at the end of September listening to Dave Matthews isn't the look.
All right, more on the stories at 1059thebrew.com. Coming up here next, you got another chance at $1,000 in cash because the Cash Squatch is back. $1,000 to help pay off some bills, or, you know, maybe you want to go on a vacation. Or I went to OMSI over the weekend. And
Oh, yeah.
It ain't cheap, kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And
it's great. I really love OMSI, and I like that they're still doing it, but.
Yeah, $1,000 right now would be great because this is also the time of year where you walk outside and you realize that your grill's gone to crap, or like your outdoor furniture's rotten because it's been outside all summer, so
Yeah.
or all winter. So that's $1,000 to get outside and start fixing some of those problems would make my day.
Your next keyword for your chance at the cash is coming up right after Godsmack. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Yeah. Trash Bandits is coming up this weekend. And just to help remind you, here's McD.
Morning, Brew Crew.
Oh, that's not McD at all.
Just joking.
Hold on. This is McD right here. The lovely McD.
You're the cleanest bandits I ever did see. I really hope you plan to come clean and spark up with me. Scrubby-dubby, scrubby-dubby, scrubby-dubby all day long. We're pickers, we're cleaners, we're Earth Day street teamers. Picking the trash up in the sun. We're bandits, you gotta hand it to the brew who planned it. Register online and join the fun. Brew, brew.
He had to rush that one a little bit.
Wow. And it does look like we are going to be picking up trash, at least in partly sunny conditions. No rain in the forecast as of just now, so that's good.
Well, Saturday we're cleaning up Lentz Park and the neighborhood in the area. You know, that's my old stomping ground, so it feels good to give back. On Saturday, we're going to be meeting at Lentz Park starting at 10 a.m., and then for the next 2 hours cleaning up the area. And then afterwards, I think we're going to go day drink.
Sounds good.
Like the idea.
We'll pick a spot in the area. That's on Saturday. Trash Bandits, Rise of the Raccoon 2, I believe. Woo-hoo! This one's going to be called Partners.
That's right.
And you have got limited spots available. So if you want to be a Trash Bandit, last I heard, I think it was a little more than halfway filled. A little more than halfway filled up as of Friday.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so if you want to be a Trash Bandito and help out the community, go sign up right now.
Snag a spot.
1059thebrew.com. In the meantime...
And now, Tanner, Drew, and Laura's Dumbass of the Day.
A man apparently drove his vehicle into the front of a come and go. You've seen those, like when you're on road trips or something.
Yeah, gas station.
Which I believe are actually going away. Remember, they were bought out and they're going to be switching to Mavericks, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, while I was on my road trip, I saw a few, and I was happy to see that they're still around because I do think eventually they're going to be sold out.
Sad.
It's too bad. But this man drove in the front of a come and go.
Oh.
Like, just drove his vehicle right inside the place.
Is there a reason for that?
He claims that his Crocs got stuck. Probably had it in turbo mode or sport mode or whatever. And
now, they are kind of like a clunky, weird thing, but I mean, did it get stuck under the pedal? Like under the back of the pedal?
Yeah, he says it got caught stuck. It got caught in the pedal, got stuck in the pedal.
Okay.
Causing him to accelerate right into the business. You can see in security footage, Dale Hammett, 60 years old, slamming his 2012 Dodge Ram into the convenience store on Thursday. And the result, damages caused about $3,700. That's it. I thought it'd be a lot more than that.
That's
you
good,
blew
I
through
guess.
a pretty expensive window, probably. Got to fix a door.
Yeah, those doors, I can't imagine. I thought they'd be more.
I would think it would be a much more structural damage.
Just under 4, I feel like you dodged a bullet there.
It's a sweet deal.
Depending on what you run into, like maybe he didn't run into the front of the building. Maybe it was.
Just took out some grandma cookie stands and that was it.
Could be, yeah.
I one time drove by a 7-Eleven when I lived in Eugene, and a car was inside that 7-Eleven. I mean, all the way inside.
Wait, you were driving?
No. I saw.
Oh, you saw it.
I
would say you never told me that story.
I would have shared that with you for sure.
Sorry about that. Can I get a Slim Jim?
But I mean, when I saw that damage, I'm thinking that's got to be tens of thousands of dollars. So they must have just parked it right in there perfectly to be that cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like just make an easy window or door replacement or something. Yeah. But in the immediate aftermath, the problem is he took off.
Oh.
He backed right out of there, and then took off.
Interesting.
I don't have $3,200.
Of course, they found him and he was arrested, and now he's if convicted, he's facing a Class E felony, and he could get 4 years in prison for it.
He should have. I mean,
and a fine of $10,000.
So was he hammered then? I mean,
it doesn't say that.
Well, I mean, why would you leave?
He said he got panicked. He just panicked and freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, another argument against wearing Crocs, though, I guess. It could,
That's very true.
Stuck under your pedal and cause some serious damage.
I want to hear from somebody. Have you ever fled the scene of an accident? Like how bad was it, I guess?
Stay anonymous.
And if it was a long time ago, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to stay anonymous, that's fine too. 866-445-1059. Have you ever just, like maybe you ran over a mailbox and you're like, I'm not staying for this.
Yeah.
And you just took off. Or you you got into an accident with another vehicle and you took off. And especially if you got caught and then you paid the price for it eventually. I want to hear that story too.
I had I don't know if I should admit this on the air, but I had a little hit and run once.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you got loose.
I did do that.
You did really?
But everything was fine.
Were you living here in Portland?
Everything was fine.
Everything was fine. No, I was living in Spokane. And I was there was a motorcycle parked behind my car. I was parallel parked outside of my apartment.
Yeah.
And I had to get up early and go to a station event. And I didn't see the motorcycle behind my car, and I backed into it. I was like, oh!
Did you knock it over like Pee-wee?
No, thankfully. So I got out of my car and I looked, and there was no damage to the motorcycle. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. I'll admit that I've done. It was probably like less than a year ago. I was parallel parking somewhere, and I think I bumped into the car in front of me. And I just gave it a little tippy tap, little tap. Yeah. I even got out, checked, everything was fine, and I got the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the wind blow your door into somebody else?
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't my fault.
I didn't drive. This is a wind. This is
an act of God.
That's a natural disaster that happened.
Right.
Yeah, tell your insurance that. They might not cover it, though, because the act of God, they try to get out of it, right?
Yeah, and, when you go to because I think we've all had someone do it to you. Like, you go look at your car, and you're like, what is that?
Right.
So it's just the universe circling back.
I was on the other side of it. I was dating this girl, and we went to the coast, and she opened the car door. We were at that place in Lincoln City that on what's that place called? Wren's or something? It's the fish.
Kylo's?
Kylo's, that's what it is. Kylo Ren. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
I was there with you.
I just Star Wars'd out there.
Yeah, no, you got it. You were close enough. Hey, got it.
No, it's called Kylo's.
Kylo Ren.
Anyway, Kylo's in Lincoln City. We were going there, and it's super windy. And she opens her door, and it just slams right into the car next to it.
Whoopsies.
She felt bad, and she put a note on the windshield, but I'm pretty sure the wind blew that away too.
Yeah, well, that makes it a little easier.
She tried.
She tried.
Saw that thing get blown into the ocean.
She tried.
Yeah, and then, those rubbins racing out there sometimes. I'm sure at the coast, just like a rusty underbelly, you're going to end up with a couple of dings.
Have you ever been involved in a hit and run? Did you bail? Did you drive inside of a come and go? Or a 7-Eleven or a Starbucks or something?
And then just scoot.
I mean, I'd really doubt most people would do that, but maybe you
never
hit
know.
something and took off.
Yeah.
Right. 866-445-1059 is the number. You can also shoot us a text message on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line at 98197. You got a chance at the cash. We'll give you the keyword again here in minutes on the brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break, or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Talking about this guy who drove his car inside of a come and go, one of those little quickie marts you'd see like on a road trip or something.
Yeah.
He drove in right inside and then drove away. Of course, he got arrested later, but not a good idea. So we want to know, have you ever been involved in a hit and run before? I want to know if you were ever the one who hit somebody and then took off.
Right.
Like Laura.
Yeah.
Or hit a motorcycle. I mean, you could have. What if you screwed his motorcycle up and you didn't even know?
I looked and there was no damage. If I would have knocked it over,
yeah,
I definitely would have had to have left a note or find the owner or whatever. But thankfully, I did not.
Bunch of bikers show up at your house.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good situation.
So yeah, we want to know, when did you hit somebody or something and take off? There was one time in Eugene, I was walking down the street and I came across somebody laying in the middle of the road. Who just got hit by a car.
Oh,
like
no.
Somebody hit them and they were on a bike because their bike was all bent up and like on the other side of the street. Mm-hmm. And they were laying in the middle of the road just going like, oh God, did you see that? And I was like, no, bro, I just missed it. I just see you laying in the ground, but I called the cops for him.
That's terrible.
And in the young person's world, too, I feel like it happens a lot more often. You know, like college campuses, high school kids who just get their license. Like, I remember being in multiple shady cars as a kid. I mean, you're a teenager, you're in your just around 20 years old, and if you're in someone else's car and they hit someone, and then you're like, dude, you should stop, and they're like,
I was with a few guys that definitely would have stopped if they did that.
There was one guy in particular, he was a bit of a tool, too. Mark was his name, and he backed into a tree one day, and his dad went, like, ballistic about it, right? And was like, you're like one one step away from losing this car. And not 2 days later, we're all in his car, and, he may or may not have had a little bit of haze in that car.
Yeah.
He backs into somebody's car that's parked, just slams into it, but doesn't damage his car, just damages their car with the trailer hitch.
So he's just like, skirt.
And so we were like, you gotta deal with this. And he was like, I'm not dealing with this because I'm keeping this car. And he drove away. And now, granted, we all called him a bunch of names, but we didn't do a citizen's arrest on the guy.
Yeah.
We were in a car that drove away from an accident.
Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Did you ever hit somebody and take off?
No, they actually hit me when I had my first car, and they took off.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what happened?
Did they screw your car up pretty bad?
That was my first car that I got, and I just got a detail, and I went to the grocery store. He hit me, and when I went to talk to him, as I was walking back to my car, he took off like a bat out of hell.
Oh, man.
Weeks later, though, I found his car and called the cops, and the dude got arrested.
Oh, wow.
He circles back.
Where'd you find the car at?
He lived in the neighborhood. He lived like within 5-10 blocks where I was living, and I was like, you know what? This dude has to live around here. And I went driving around for like a couple hours, and I found it.
That's smart, dude. Wow, a little detective, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Well, good job on that, bro. Appreciate the call. You got it taken care of. I mean,
because the hit and run, they do come for you. Amy one time had cops show up to her house and try to arrest her for a hit and run. Whoa. And she was like, what? And she found out that the car that she had sold to her own sister had never changed title, and she hit and run someone. So what do? They go right to whoever it's registered to.
Sure.
So they will, if you have a car registered in your name and it gets on camera or something, they're going to come get you.
Let's go to Spencer. Spencer, have you ever been involved in a hit and run?
Well, I backed into a national landmark once and took off.
What national landmark?
Yeah, it was some lamppost somewhere. I was in a box truck helping a friend move, and so I got turned around. So I was like, I got to go the other way. So I'm backing up some random street. I feel a bump, and I look back, and there's like a lamppost. So I go look, and there's a sign that's like, this lamppost is a national landmark to commemorate something or other.
Oh, no.
And this fisherman looks over, he goes, I don't know, I don't see any damage, man. I just leave. They're going to nail you to the wall for that
one. Wow. And so did you take off? Did you follow his advice?
Oh, yeah, I just looked. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like, call the city and be like, hey, just, what are they really going to do? Like, there was no damage. We returned the truck. There was no problem. So I was like, I'm just going to call it a life lesson learned. Double check your backup.
Yeah,
Here you go.
No harm, no foul.
Appreciate it, Spencer. Thanks for the call. We got some talkback messages coming in through the iHeartRadio app. Of course, you can send us one anytime. Download it for your cell phone. It's free. Once you have the Brew streaming, press the microphone button.
So we had crashed my buddy's car at the end of a road, probably doing like 70, hit a ditch and some bushes, almost hit his house. Anyways, I knew cops were coming, and I lived right down the street, so I got out and walked through the neighborhood. A few minutes later, you can hear cops coming, and I guess he ended up trying to go get it out with another truck from the property. Cops caught him, and I heard all about it the next day because I was smart enough to go away.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Good call.
Sometimes you just gotta bounce.
Yeah.
This dude's too shady. I'm gone.
Another talk back through the app.
Hello. I was dating a lady and her granddaughter. We went to a restaurant. She throws the door open, creases the fender on the car next to us. And we looked at it. We all got out, looked at it, got back in the car, and parked somewhere else. That was it.
It wasn't me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sucks about your car,
It's
bro.
like, this dinner's going to be way too expensive if we deal with this.
Yeah.
Let's go to Wayne. Wayne, good morning. When's, have you ever been involved in a hit and run? I was going to say, when's the last time? Like, it happens a lot. But, has it ever happened at all?
Good question. No, it was kind of to Drew's point. I was 16, got my first car, no license, no insurance. The old man took off, so of course I tied on a little bar action at the house and then took off, ended up T-boning in a van.
Oh, jeez.
Somebody called the cops on me because they seen it. Lucky for me, I pulled the guy over, jargoned a little bit. We were exchanging information that didn't exist. And then the cops like, you guys good? I'm like, oh, yeah, we're good. He took off. I left. Never heard anything else about it.
Oh
Damn,
my god,
that is
bro.
shiesty.
That is amazing.
What a dick move, but it
Yeah.
worked.
Like, oh yeah, the fake information.
What a dick move.
Yeah, we're doing good.
But hey, you got away with it. How long ago was that, Wayne?
Oh, it was when I was 16, bud.
Oh, okay, so long time
So
ago.
when you were 16.
Yeah, him and I, Wayne and I went to high school together.
Oh, so
nice.
all the way back.
So I could have been involved in this. It's a very good thing I wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks, Wayne.
You were probably at school, bro. Like, unlike the rest of
Yeah, you're right. Well, I was at school, but I wasn't in class. I'm sure I was skipping.
There you go.
Daydreaming
I do
of
remember you spending
T-boning
some time up
vans.
in the lighting area and the drama center. So who knows what you were really doing up
And
there.
by the way, that our old stomping ground, Wayne, is where we're going to be cleaning up this weekend for trash bandits. You know, Wayne and I went to Marshall together.
Yeah.
And that's, we're going to be cleaning up Lynn's Park and the surrounding areas. So you should come on out, brother. Especially after that move.
I'll be out there.
You go to the city.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
you
some community
need some
service.
good karma.
Pick up a broken tail light or something.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great one.
All right, buddy. You can sign up to be a trash bandito online now at 1059thebrew.com. We'll see you Saturday morning, 10 a.m. at Lentz Park. All right, more calls coming up. Have you ever been involved in a hit and run? We'll talk to you right after AC/DC. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on 1059 The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes.
All right, all this week, we do have your tickets to go see Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace when they take over the Tanner, Drew, and Laura Amphitheater in October. Actually, October 1st, so it's still pretty nice early October.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Really nice show. If you want to go, you got to be callers 10 and 11. You're going to play a game for your chance to win coming up next. 866-445-1059. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I just found the study that I thought was interesting. If you're a meat lover, this new study's found that vegans are hated by meat eaters and perceived as socially different.
Huh.
I see
Meat eaters hate vegans.
The stereotype is that the vegan is like gaunt and weak.
Yeah. Right. I don't hate you. I just think your bloodline's weak and history will forget you. That's all.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like crunch time, you're not really, you don't have the nutrition to survive.
You can eat whatever you want. I don't care. Just don't think you're better than me because you don't eat meat.
I think that's the whole thing, is that I've definitely met some plant-based people who I felt like I was looked down upon because I eat meat. And they're like, well, blah blah blah, so and so, this is why that's bad for you, yada yada yada. Like it's a personal choice. Like let me
those
just
people look frail
let me
and
live my
pale.
life.
You know, you look at those people who just look sick, like they've got a cold or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think meat definitely helps you have a little color in your face. But, I mean, I think that it's just funny how it's black and white. It's the people who are hardcore meat and not into the vegetarian thing. Like, you can have a hybrid lifestyle. You can love meat and eat plant-based products.
And you were a vegetarian for a while, or were you a...
I was a pescatarian, so I still ate fish.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person who I ate the burger patties. Like I ate the Beyond Meat and the Impossible and stuff because I like the taste of a cheeseburger. Some plant-based people are like, no, the reason I don't eat meat is because I don't like meat. Why would I want to pretend to eat meat?
But when you drive by a steakhouse,
you know?
how do you not go, oh...
Oh, but I don't know. A lot of people, I think, are turned off by the idea of just like meat in general and what the process
but if you
it takes
smell
to
it,
get
like
there.
that smells delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't eat it, I mean, you can't sit there and deny that it smells so
It does
glorious.
smell very good.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
When you're cutting, like when we're cutting those giant pieces of meat on Friday upstairs, to think that would smell gross to someone, it blows my mind.
Like what's wrong with you? What is wrong with everyone else is normal and you're weird.
Yeah, we're all licking our chops over here. But I get if you don't necessarily want to eat it, but like you can't deny it smells good.
With that said, the first person who ate a steak was probably a freak. Think about that. The first person who realized like you could milk a cow. Like, what were you doing? What were you doing, Peter, out here in the forest, out here in the field with this with the udders?
And you've just got this mouth all bloody. I mean, you think the rest of us were probably sitting on the ground eating berries and sticks, like trying to survive, and somebody's like, "Well, I'm just going to eat the tail end of this cow."
I thought about that. Like, when did they figure it out? My guess is they smelled it because they probably like threw it on a fire to make something.
Maybe.
And then they just smelled it.
Probably just comes from the barbarian times, you know, like whether we evolved from monkeys or what, but, you know, they were eating.
Yeah.
Man, the trial and error back in the day must have been like I think about the person who found out which mushrooms make you see things and which mushrooms are poisonous and
Someone
which
had to figure that
mushrooms taste good on pizza. You know what I mean? It's like, somebody had to do all that.
Some scientist was tripping balls trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So meat eaters apparently hate vegans, but I don't hate you.
Well,
I just think
vegans hate meat eaters, so that's I don't
hate
necessarily
you.
True, but
I don't hate you. I just think you are way off.
it's not my preferred
And you're weak.
lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I know, like, I don't eat dairy, but I know that I'm a weak man for it.
All right, let's play the 5 and 10 game for your chance at tickets to go see Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace. B-Break and 3 Grace.
Yeah.
I believe is
That's
what
it.
nobody calls them.
3 Grace.
We're going to play the 5 and 10 game here. Let's meet our contestant calling from Longview, which we need to do a bacon and beer in Longview, I think, sometime soon.
Yeah.
What's up, Reed?
I was just out here repping the carnivores.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Reed, if we were to do a bacon and beer in Longview, where do you think we should go?
I don't know that Longview has any place really, really good anymore. We've kind of fizzled out, but one town over, Kalama's got a really cool little McMinimans.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That might be a good idea.
That's a
people
big
over there.
spot, too.
Yeah. All right, dude. You know how to play the game?
I don't.
All right.
But let's do it anyways.
The game is called Categories. We're going to give you a certain category, and you will have 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds to name 5 items or things in that category. If you lose, you have to listen to us give your tickets to somebody who did absolutely nothing.
All right.
All right. Reed, today your category is zoo animals. You have 10 seconds to name 5 zoo animals. Go.
Giraffe, zebra, elephant, monkey, hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
Bang,
There you
bang.
There you go.
Lightning quick.
Pro.
Yeah. Did you guys see there's a new baby elephant at the Oregon Zoo?
Yeah, I want to go see it. I haven't been to the Oregon Zoo yet.
You got to make reservations now like it's Disneyland.
Oh.
So he or she had been born a while ago, but are we allowed to view now?
I
Yes,
saw
I
a
think so.
video of him just out there playing with Mama.
Oh, nice.
So I want to go there, even though they ruined the train. It used to be awesome and go into like the forest.
Yeah.
Now it's just like a small figure 8 in the park.
It's not worth your time.
But I'll still do it just because it's the train.
It's nostalgia.
Got to ride the train when you're at the zoo. So anyway, congratulations, dude. You just got tickets to go see B-Break and 3 Days Grace, all right?
Thanks, Blue Crew.
At where?
at 105.9.
No,
the Blues.
that's fine. But I was looking for the Tanner, Drew, and Laura Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
We're still working on that.
Yeah, trying to get that branded.
Spread the word.
Hang on, we'll get your information, and we'll see you at the show. Lettuceface just showed up.
What's up?
I cannot believe what I am seeing right now, and it brings me such joy.
He is wearing the lettuce head that Laura got him for like an award, like a medal. He's wearing a head of lettuce around his neck.
I was hoping that he would refrigerate it over the weekend, but
It does not look like
it
that's
is
the
one
case.
limp load of lettuce.
That's pretty gross.
It's a limp,
He's rubbing against Drew's arm right now.
lettuce load.
This is the refrigerated version. I'd wear it all day, and then I'd put it in the ice box overnight.
Oh, it is cold.
Okay.
Wow. It's just so limp.
Well, we'll talk to Beefwater. We'll get a recap the Beat My Meat competition from Friday. That's all coming up. Hang on.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
story.
It's time for the big story, where we go around the room sharing what we think the biggest stories of the day are. I'll kick this off. The IRS tax filing deadline is almost here. For most Americans, taxes are due tomorrow.
That's right.
I believe, is it midnight, or you just needed to be post-stamped by midnight? Or
I don't know.
I think that's right. I think that's right.
So the IRS is actually giving some citizens a break, though. So, and there's usually people in natural disaster areas. Like I do a show in Charlotte, North Carolina, and those people don't have to have them due until May 1st because of
That makes
Hurricane Helene.
sense. Yeah.
So so some people don't have to have them done for another 15 days or whatever. But you have to do them tomorrow, by tomorrow.
I'd be doing them today too if you're in that situation, because at least when I do my taxes, I feel like you kind of gotta look at them, make sure they go through, and sometimes something will bounce back or something. And if you don't have an extra day to be like, oh, whoops, I forgot to click X, Y, and Z, you could get screwed.
Drew, did you get yours done? Because I know
Done.
last week or the week before you were talking about how you hadn't done them yet.
They're done, but I haven't been paid. Like I've been accepted, but I haven't been paid. How long did it take for the money to arrive?
2 weeks, 21
Yeah, I got mine.
3 weeks.
I got mine like a week and a half.
Yeah.
3 weeks seems aggressive.
I got mine
feel
pretty
like
quickly.
Yeah.
But now that we're close to the deadline, I'm probably with everyone else in line to get your money. The big story to me is we were talking about Coachella and how it's not a place you really want to be. Even if you were at a show you would want to be at Coachella, like Green Day, you could still get rocked. Green Day's Saturday Coachella show went out with a bang. Unfortunately, that was in the crowd. During the end of their performance, a rogue firework shot into the crowd and set a palm tree on fire.
Oh, no.
It almost seems like, like set up pyro, but no, it's real, as the thing was quickly put out by the firefighters who were there, and there were TikTok videos going viral, but I don't know. The whole thing, even without the pyro, seems like a dangerous thing for a dude my age, let alone if you caught a firework right in the chest.
Yeah. I think the big story is that it's the end of an era for Publishers Clearinghouse, as they have filed for bankruptcy. So if you're hoping one day to just open your front door to somebody holding a giant check and some balloons telling you that you've won a boatload of money, sounds like that's not going to be happening.
It's over.
They'd been around for 72 years, initially founded as an alternative to door-to-door magazine subscription sales. But of course, they were best known for their prize sweepstakes. They were hit with a lot of lawsuits over the years, claiming false advertising and deceptive promotions and things of that nature. So I'm sure that didn't help. They are still, I guess they're, I guess they're still going to be around doing some other stuff, just not the prize sweepstakes. So sorry to let you know.
We're going to get a Netflix, and it's going to be like the McDonald's game where the money never went anywhere.
Yeah, all right. More on those stories online at 1059thebrew.com. When you're there, you might as well enter this hour's keyword for your chance at $1,000. And that is coming up next. The Cash Squatch is back. $1,000 every single hour, all day long. As soon as you hear it, you got to log on to 1059thebrew.com and enter it in to win. And that's coming up right after The Offspring. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Happy Monday. I'd like to know, what habit have you just kicked? Maybe it was drinking, maybe it was weed, maybe it was just some other weird bad habit. The reason I ask is yesterday I went out to a little bar to get some food and have a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
And it was a nice day, so like this is one of those places that has their walls just like a garage door.
Yeah.
So they just opened it up.
I love those.
Yeah, it was a really nice day yesterday. So I'm sitting there, and the bartender, he just, at first it was just the one bartender, but then another one started, and he looked just like he was just kind of hungover or haggard. I don't know if he was hung, but he was just looked kind of tired or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other bartender's like, "How you doing?" He's like, "Oh, fine." And he's like, she was like, "Do you want a drink?" Or they brought up alcohol or something. And he goes, "No, I quit drinking." And she goes, "Really? When?" "This morning."
Yeah, that's a good
And like
luck.
he was, and she kind of laughed like, "What do you mean you quit drinking this morning?" Because it sounded like maybe he has said things like this before.
Yeah, every day's the first day.
But he was dead serious, like, "No, I don't drink anymore." How long has it been? About 3 hours.
Yeah,
what?
right. Yeah.
But he was dead serious about not drinking. At least that's what it sounded like. I'll see how long that lasted.
You know, when I'm hungover, I'm always vowing to do something.
Yeah.
You know,
like I'm never doing this again. Like
when you tie it all the way on and you got the spits.
Yeah, and just the smell or the thought of the alcohol that you got drunk on the night before just makes you want to throw up.
It's amazing how my memory will wash that off, though.
I know, yeah. As soon as you start feeling better, you're like,
yeah, forget about all that.
You're right. So what bad habit have you recently kicked? That's what we want to know. Just recently. Like I just stopped playing, Mahjong or whatever on the computer. Is that what the game is?
I don't know what Mahjong is.
No, there's some game my mom used to play.
Mahjong?
Is it Mahjong? Whatever, the
I
little
don't know what
blocks?
that is.
Oh, I do. Oh, Chinese blocks is what I called it as a kid. 'Cause it had all the symbols.
My mom would play that for hours, and I think it became an addiction. Or like maybe you had a bad habit with one of those games. Or so. Like, what is your bad habit that you just kicked? It could be anything.
You know, you see people do it all the time with social media. They talk about it like cigarettes. They're like, "Oh, I'm not on that anymore. I've washed it off because they scrolled too much, or they buy too much because they scroll." Like, so I think Mahjong, if I'm saying it right, the modern day version would be a scroller.
Yeah, exactly. What is your habit that you just kicked? 866-445-1059. Anybody in here just recently kick a bad habit?
Well, mine's a little bit older now, but my greatest battle was kicking sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a candy-aholic for 30 years or whatever you want to call it. And I think it was tougher than stopping anything else bad for my body ever did. So that's an ongoing thing. Like, people talk about their sobriety coin. I feel like sugar is a weird thing that like people are like, "Oh, yeah, great." But you're like, no, that's like really tough not to crush
for some
gummy
people,
bears and
food is just like a serious addiction.
Well, especially sugar is a very addictive substance in and of itself. Like you
get lost in it.
Yeah, and I have done the opposite, Drew. I haven't really kicked any habits recently, but I feel like I've picked some up. Like I've gotten into the habit of like, I'll walk over to the plaid pantry and grab like a case of White Claws or whatever, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to pick up some like gummy bears or little peach rings or something like that. And then I'll go home and just like eat the entire bag and feel like trash. And I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
Like, Denzel in the movie where he's the pilot and like if he just touches alcohol, he drinks them all and then he asses out.
Flight, yeah.
I was Flight with like Sour Patch Kids or something. I'd be like, okay,
Same.
I'm going to grab 3 of those. And you come back and a family bag is decimated in an hour and your mouth is raw and dead.
I was that same way with
stop.
the double bubble. Remember, I'd go to Winco and I would get double. I mean, the fact that I don't have full-blown diabetes is a miracle because I would just go through bags of that stuff.
You were trying to get it in a week.
Yeah, but then like I think I chewed so much of it now that the taste
TMJ.
of it, the taste of it is kind of sick of it and it hurts my mouth.
Double bubble, that's the individually wrapped little bubblegum chunks,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Just
one's from
make
your
sure-
childhood.
Yeah.
Did you
Pure
swallow
sugar.
those
Dude, how do
or
you-
spit them out?
Sometimes I'd swallow them.
Okay.
More than I should, for sure.
60-40.
hard.
Huh?
Like, just chewing that stuff is so hard.
Yeah, no, that's why my jaw would get tired. And that's like one of the main reasons I had to kick it because honestly, I was getting click jaw.
Yeah.
But he's trained now. He can bite through a car door.
At first, in my brain, it registered like bubble tape, and I'm like, "All right, so you chewed a lot of gum." But like, the double bubble, it's
it's
I don't think
it's like bazooka.
I doubt the bubble tape is any better, right?
No, it's all just and what it's doing to your teeth. Luckily, you're born with pretty good teeth, right? So you've been able to combat that. But I was British and eating like that. That's like a Russian drinking vodka.
Not a good combo.
This text comes to us from 0992. It says he cut out watching TV every single night.
And that's tough to do because I feel like that's a vice of mine. I need at least, even if it's 20 minutes, I need to sit down and like be like, oh, I'm relaxing now, even if I'm not.
I have a couple of shows that I watch every day. Like I watch Stephen Colbert every day. I watch The Daily Show every day. And that's about it. Like I don't really watch
work that routine in.
That's a routine that I do, but I don't really watch like.
But I mean, I feel like
no show I'm like binging right now. I get like the studio, but that's once a week.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be easy enough. I mean, not easy, but not easy to instead of turning on the TV, maybe sitting on the couch and reading a book instead, or doing like another
if you're a nerd.
hobby. Yeah, right. Yeah.
This text comes to us from 3049 and says, "It took me 2 years of doing nicotine tablets to finally kick the habit." That's huge, bro.
Nice. Yeah, that's great.
They say I had a hardcore chewing tobacco habit. Part of me misses it, but I'm also glad I'm not doing that stuff anymore.
Man, I see people everywhere with those Zins in their mouth now. That's like the thing.
Yeah,
those little tobacco, or they're like little nicotine pouches.
Yeah, which like I don't smoke or anything like that, so my tolerance is very low. I remember somebody gave me one of those once. 30 seconds, I thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah, it's intense.
So strong.
My addictive personality, no new habits, none of that.
I understand, like in the Netherlands, those are the thing. Everybody's on it. Men, women, everybody's chewing the Zin.
I saw a woman with a Zin in her mouth at the soccer game yesterday for my kid.
Yeah, it's
a grown woman, like put together with a Zin in her mouth.
Gotta keep it together.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So we want to know what bad habit did you recently kick? It's time to brag about it. It's probably feels pretty good to kick that bad habit.
Absolutely.
866-445-1059 is the phone number. You can also shoot us up. I don't want you to shoot us up. Just hit us up.
Yeah, please don't. We're not trying to pick up any new bad habits.
Trying to make it through the week.
Yeah.
You can reach out to us on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line at 98197.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Here's Drew.
Well, the Masters was yesterday, and I was watching intently to see if Rory McIlroy could do it. If he could hit the Grand Slam of golf, which is where you win all 4 major tournaments. But for well over a decade now, he's been going to Augusta National, trying to win the Masters, coming close, but never quite getting the job done, even having the lead on the final day before. But he found himself in that territory again. The Northern Irelander, which is tough to say, was up against the fence as it went to a playoff as his lead had dwindled away. He worried, was he going to collapse like it happened in the past? But he talked about trying to stay centered.
The bubble probably burst for a little bit, and I was able to steady myself and make some really good swings coming in, and I had a chance to win it in regulation. It didn't quite happen, but again, I had to reset, and I played a perfect playoff hole.
Well, they have an amazing locker room there too that's just for champions. So you got to think like just a few guys can even go into the thing. And it was such a great view of, they had a video camera as he opened the door and went to this secret room that nobody's ever allowed to be in, and now forever, as long as he plays, he will get to go change his shoes in private in the champions locker room. He now sits somewhere on the Mount Rushmore of golf. And finally, tip of the cap to Chauncey Billups, who took a young roster and built him throughout the year for the Blazers. Now no playoff run, but it looks like a ton of expectation moving forward, and there will now be more years of Billups as coach, a multi-year extension. The details not released as of yet, but it looks like we'll be seeing plenty more of Chauncey, and I like it. There's your sports.
All right, the Cash Squatch is back, and you have got a shot at $1,000 every single hour right here on 105.9 The Brew. This hour's keyword, rather, is cash. Very simple. You enter the keyword cash to win some cash right now. 1059thebrew.com is a website. As soon as you get there, a box is going to pop up. Just type in the keyword cash, and then keep an eye on your cell phone because we can call you back in minutes with the money, all right?
Perfect.
1059thebrew.com. Good luck.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
So we want to know, what bad habit have you recently kicked? And if you recently kicked it, you should be proud of it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's time to brag about that habit that you recently kicked. We got a lot of great text messages coming in, man. This one comes to us from 3432. It says, not proud of my addiction, but after 8 years of using heroin, I have just over a year clean and haven't had any cravings in a few months. It definitely causes health issues, though. But I'm thankful to be clean and alive.
That's impressive.
Awesome. Yeah.
Or lady, whoever that is so awesome.
It's big time.
Congratulations. From what I understand, that's like one of the hardest to kick.
And I think it's a good example to other people who are lost in it. You know, you're so afraid of being sick. You're so afraid that you can't do it. It can be done. It just happened right there. So that is really cool.
This text comes to us from 8391. It says, I kicked the bad habit of marriage at bacon and beer with your mass divorce.
There it is.
Nice.
And sometimes you're just stuck in that spiral. So, yeah, hats off to you.
It is a scary thing to just leave, a bad situation. So kudos to you.
6500 sent a text in and said, I just hit 1 month sober from sex, only because my wife apparently kicked the habit but didn't tell me.
Very nice.
So many people's story.
This text comes to us from 1912. It says, I recently stopped letting people take advantage and use me. I'm down to 3 friends, and it's better than having hundreds of them. Dude, yeah.
3 real friends.
Few friends are, I think better than a whole bunch.
For sure.
Too many to keep up with. It's exhausting. We got a couple of talkback messages. You can send us one through our iHeartRadio app anytime.
Shout out to my best friend Damien, who is day 20, no alcohol.
Yeah.
Keep it going for a year.
Well, Brew Crew, I've decided to stop arguing with my wife. It gets me nothing and nowhere. But we'll see how it goes. I'm probably about 8 days in.
Nice job, sir.
It's a long run.
Happy wife, happy life.
8 days since our last argument.
One more talkback. Nope.
Where are you?
Just silent.
Hello?
That guy's
I give up talking.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Let's see. This text comes to us from 5322. It says they quit smoking cold turkey and went through a divorce at the same time.
Yo.
Oh, my God. That was probably super stressful.
Yeah, and to choose to do it like that, you're like, I'm just going to take all the pain right now.
Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
They say this July will be 22 years and they never looked back.
Nice.
Of boozing?
I think all of it. Just
the lifestyle.
Because it was all at the same time, the divorce and the
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a
The
continuation
smoking
of that one. Okay.
Let's go to Dallas. Good morning, Dallas.
Good morning, Brew Crew. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. What bad habit did you recently kick?
About a month and a half ago, I quit smoking marijuana. I was a pretty heavy user. I'm talking like kept a dab pen in my pocket wherever I went, and completely clean now.
Wow. And did you cold turkeyed it, or did you kind of like wean yourself off?
Oh, no, it was cold turkey. I was starting a new job, and I couldn't have anything in my system, so I just stopped.
Wow.
Man, and it only took a month and a half to start calling it marijuana. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hooked on the weed.
What job are you doing, Dallas?
I'm a truck driver now.
Yeah, you can't be smoking chronic
for sure.
while you're driving truck. All right, dude. Are you?
No, it's all federal regulations you have to follow when you're doing these.
That's
Yeah,
right.
makes
That's
sense.
right. You keep it safe on the road.
I remember one time I stopped. I had trouble sleeping. Like I had restless legs. Do you have the same problem, or are you sleeping fine?
Oh, you know, at first, yeah, it was really hard sleeping. You just got to go pop a couple Benadryl and hope you don't see the Hat Man.
All right. That's fair enough.
The old Benadryl, bring you home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you.
You know, actually, that's a good point, though, because I have quit using Benadryl.
Oh,
and
really?
I used to take it every day before the show and after the show.
That's crazy. You took it twice a day.
I know.
What inspired you to stop?
Well, trying to figure out why my mouth's always so dry.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you take 2 antihistamines plus a separate antihistamine every day in the morning.
It does make sense that would dry out.
But I've managed to just over the course of, a couple months, no more Benadryl, just one melatonin at night to sleep, and in the morning, one like Claritin.
Oh.
The hardest bad habit for me that I've done pretty well with this year is soda. Like I love Dr. Pepper. It is my drink. Yeah. I could drink it all day long if it were healthy. I would too.
If it allowed.
But I don't drink it during the week. I do a pretty good job of not drinking it during the week. But on the weekends, I definitely
gung ho.
Just kind of just forget about it.
Yeah.
You know, it used to just be like a Friday or like one day a week. Now it's just like the whole weekend. But I'll eventually get back to one day.
How much do you drink? Like, how much
it's
Dr.
like
Pepper do you
drink?
drink?
Little 20, what is it, a little 20-ounce bottle?
Oh, okay.
I get those in like a pack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got it.
How many of those will you get through in a weekend?
Just
couple.
Yeah, maybe like 2 a day. You know,
2 a day?
2 a day.
Yeah,
Dang,
I know it's probably not great, but it's better than when I was just drinking them all day long.
Yeah,
and not having any water. So.
That's true.
There it is, man. That's the habit I kicked. Kind of.
Yeah, you're working on it.
On
That's
the
okay.
weekdays.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
hey, that's 5 out of 7.
Yeah,
You're
you got to
getting it.
start somewhere.
It's hands down my Achilles heel. Like I love a cold Coca-Cola Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've cut way back on that. But just the notion of like never having it again makes me sad.
The crisp taste of
dude.
it. Nothing I miss more than because I don't drink soda anymore, but I miss the first sip.
Like
first sip is
it makes your mouth water, your eyes water.
Where it
almost.
hurts. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I want it to hurt.
And then you just start crying because it feels so good.
Yeah, it hurts so good. That's
More
what the song's about.
Your calls and texts coming up in a few minutes. What bad habit did you recently kick? But of course, we are in the presence of greatness this morning. Of course, not Lettuceface over here.
Oh, yeah.
He lost the Beat My Meat competition on Friday, but Drew, he walked away victorious after going head-to-head with Lettuceface, also known as Beefwater, cooking the best tomahawk steak.
That's right.
And it was a unanimous decision. We had Lisa from Mother's Bistro, the owner and chef down there at Mother's Bistro, as a judge. We had Andrea Damewood from the Portland Mercury as a judge. So I felt like we had some pretty prestigious judges.
Absolutely.
And of course, your 2 glorious mouths.
But also our listener Taylor, who was a judge. She did a pretty good job, I thought.
She's a steak connoisseur, according to her mother. So
I found her decision questionable.
and she had some feedback for you too.
She did say they were both good. Everyone liked your steak.
Look, there was no loser in that situation. We both.
Well,
did
technically,
good.
You were the loser.
I get you. I'm only going to take so much for a guy that can barely get his way through a pot of spaghetti. We're doing.
That's the one thing I can cook, actually,
and it's delicious.
Barely. No, I feel like the challenge, doing it in front of people, doing it for a judging panel, doing it on the air. Everything went as good as it could go.
Yeah,
everything tasted really good.
Yeah, even though you lost it, was I just felt like Drew's was a bit more juicy, And,
yeah, we were all there. We heard it all.
I'm just reminding the audience, it was a bit more juicy.
Taylor said, and this is a direct quote: "Drew's steak had the juice."
Yeah, this is like a flavor explosion. Like the moment I bit into it.
Because we've covered it. He did a good job in the end, putting the butter on right at the last minute.
I think you're selling my steak short a little bit. You keep just saying I want it with the butter. It's a whole process.
I'm saying in the preparation, I think that was pretty much neck and neck. We cooked them pretty much exact. When you sliced them open, they looked very.
They were similar.
They were very, very similar. So I think you took it in the 11th hour, which I give you full credit.
Because Drew seemed pretty stressed out, and I was like, I don't know. He seems really kind of like panicked, and then Casey seemed like in the zone, and then all of a sudden Drew was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he took his tomahawk off the grill and put it in the foil,
the
I was
whole
like,
thing I felt went fast. Like
it did go really fast.
You guys cooked it way faster than I thought.
Yeah, me
I thought it was
too.
going to take like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something.
So I was just thinking about it over the weekend, and man, I had a great time. It was a ton of fun, and it kind of reinvigorated the fun of doing this, right? Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people maybe just gotten into the, we inspired some people because
Back at it.
My friend Buster ass Marcus, who was on the show with us Friday, who was on our Donkey Show podcast, sent me a text. He's like, dude, you guys inspired me, cooked up a tri-tip tonight.
That's great.
Sent a photo of his really delicious looking tri-tip. So.
Yeah, I, on the other hand, sold all of my equipment.
I got super lucky also in the fact that I had 125 degrees targeted in my head, and we're doing that live break, and I'm looking at it on my phone, and it goes from 122 to 125, and it goes pop, and in my mind I'm like thinking about what Tanner said. He's like, you just do your thing and cook your steak. So you're talking to beef, I just turned over and just pulled it out and wrapped it right there, and I was like, that was a miracle moment because he cooked it for another few degrees.
Yeah.
Well, he also had the lid off for a long time. Like he kept taking
we
the lid
weren't
off
that
for like
far
30,
apart
40 seconds at a
in
time.
Internal temperature, we weren't that far apart when you took yours off. So I wasn't concerned about that.
Well, I just remember hearing a lot of people saying they were concerned about
it. And guess who cooked it essentially perfectly?
But you still lost.
I did, but
unanimous decision.
Only one of us can win. I'm saying the chef told me that, and everybody else, that it was cooked perfectly.
Right.
So
it was a good steak.
So zip it.
But it wasn't even close. I'm just saying. It was unanimous. Everyone picked steak
Well,
B.
again, I'm only going to take so much guff from a guy who can't cook anything. So I'll
I
take
can
it from
cook
Drew.
something.
I'll take it from Drew all
I
day.
can cook something,
You have
Speak.
no ground here.
That's fine. Whatever you want to think.
I mean,
I'm
think
making mean
maybe
plate of spaghetti.
To your point, I feel like maybe there should be some sort of cooking competition for Tanner and somebody else.
Yeah, the microwave cook-off?
Yeah.
That actually sounds amazing.
I have no problem doing it. I think we can do something a little bit different and better, though.
Yeah.
But he's just sour because he lost and he wants
I'm
to see
not
someone else
sour
lose.
even a little bit, dude. I had a great time. I feel very good about what I cooked. I'm not
trying to save face. I get it.
It's not even at all. I'm
totally
just,
good.
I don't, it's not that what to win. Okay, would have been fun. Drew would have been miserable this week.
Yeah,
that's
that is
not
true.
very fun.
Nobody knows that.
I bet Drew wouldn't have come in this morning wearing that romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
for sure.
the lettuce, I'm giving you some credit. You did refrigerate it, which I didn't think you did, and he kept it together.
He's wearing a head of lettuce around his neck because lettuce face has to do that all this week. But it did get a little testy, Laura, at one point early in the show. If you go back and listen to the podcast at 1059thebrew.com, Drew was upset that Casey didn't take the steak out of the fridge when we got there.
Right, because he said they agreed upon that, and then Beefwater was like, we did not.
And that moment was maybe my favorite of the entire lead up.
It did feel like Beefwater was doing a lot for you.
He's having fun.
You know, he was setting up the grills and everything.
Well, ahead of time, he brought the grills up there.
I mean, what else does he need to do?
Well, I mean, I guess
I also didn't realize I was competing against you and your wife. There's a lot of things that we can discuss here.
You should have, you know what you should have done? Walked into your kitchen, reintroduced yourself to your wife, and asked her what you should have done. Is what you should have done. Why not use?
Shots fired.
Why
because
not
it was
use
mono
fire?
y mono. That's why. Because
So-
it was you and me.
So
we
you
were going to
can't
settle it.
So
No,
wait,
you
hold
talk to
on,
nobody
hold
about
on.
it.
You're on YouTube listening to some stranger, but I can't
Well, a
listen to the
professional.
person in the kitchen.
No, absolutely. You did
You're
everything.
unbelievable.
You did everything right, Drew. There's no two ways about it.
I was giving you compliments, but
Yeah.
what I will say is your second place trophy was left upstairs and is the last thing.
Because
not
he was
cleaned
done
up.
with it. Once he lost and it was over, he was just done with it all.
You should
I-
bring
I
it
get
down, dude. Put it in
I
the
will.
office.
I will put it in my office
Yeah.
for sure. I got still stuff up there that needs to come down. So
You know, I think it was a great competition.
It was.
I had a fun time, dude.
You know, and we were friendly outside amongst the battle.
Yeah.
But
that's
you
what
know,
makes it. You guys know I love that. You know, it's not a good competition unless it gets intense
Look,
and people
all
are
the
upset.
smack talk was for show. Like, we genuinely enjoy each other's company. It wasn't
Right. Everyone's
any
friends.
big deal.
Everyone's
we had a
friends
fun
here.
time. It was a great thing.
Although they
And-
haven't really looked directly into each
the
other's
very basis
eyes.
of this is that men don't like to lose cooking competitions, and if that in those moments, so
Right.
I'm just happy, obviously, that it went the way that it went.
I mean,
but
if
also
everyone want me
that-
to shut you down with a microwave hungry man, I have no problem doing that.
Oh yeah, if anybody's got the lead on that, it is you.
I actually, I don't eat frozen food from the like microwave like that, but I'm sure I can microwave a pretty mean plate.
You know,
of
I'm
spaghetti.
sure I wouldn't mind one of those pieces of fried chicken from back in the day, though.
But we can do, we can get involved. I'll get involved in
Or
the
the
competition.
little chocolate cake. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, there was cake in there.
Yeah.
But whatever, I don't know what I could do, but you know, because it's going to be something that I think that I'm good at, right?
But
Can't be
that's the
like-
whole fun of it, is that we just give you something to cook and
Yeah.
you're completely clueless and see if you can find your way through it.
I'd probably be
You
amazing.
just
let's
bring
be
a
honest.
badass casserole and shut all these
Yeah,
guys up.
I would. It would be great. Let's go to Josh. Good morning, Josh. Or is this, who is this? I don't know what that is. It says Joe Mosh on the phone. So I thought, good morning, hello.
Oh, hey, it's Waylon. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Howdy.
How's it going?
What's up, Waylon?
Are we still talking about giving up some bad habits?
Yeah, what'd you recently give up?
Well, so I've got health insurance for the first time now in like a decade, and I've been going to the doctor a lot, and diet has obviously been a problem. So the biggest thing I've been tackling is soda. That's like my biggest weakness, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can quit drinking alcohol, I can quit smoking weed, I could not smoke, you know, cigarettes or vape or anything like that, but you get so addicted to, for me, it's the carbonation.
Yeah.
And obviously the sugar. I mean, the sugar is one of the biggest draws.
But it's
for me,
like we
you
were
know?
saying, that first sip, that when you makes your mouth pop, and you know, that's what I crave too, bro. So I hear you.
And that's exactly what it's been, you know. And the other thing, you know, I've really cut back on soda. I've gone from, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 cans a day probably, which is horrible for you.
Yeah.
And I've gone to maybe 1 or 2 a week, you know,
wow,
and that's pretty
great.
good.
Yeah, that's really good.
And you know, the other thing too is like I'm really busy. I'm a stay-at-home dad, so like drop my wife off at work at 9 or at 8, drop my kid off at school at 9, pick him up at noon. So I'm gone for like the first half of the day. You know, we leave the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. And so fast food became a really bad problem too.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's just too quick. It's too easy to just stop it. Hey, I'm just going to grab something real quick.
Bro, when I moved to
And so, you know,
Detroit, I did that. Like I was so depressed when I moved to Detroit. I didn't know anybody, and I was eating McDonald's like once, twice a day. And I put on like 100 pounds or so. Well, it was like 50 pounds. I put on like 50, 60 pounds when I lived in Detroit, just eating fast food every day like that. So that is a terrible habit.
It is. It's a terrible habit. And so that was the first big thing I tackled. And so like, I haven't even had any fast food. If at all, I have it once a week now.
And it starts to make you sick. You know, you don't eat it for so long, and then you eat it, and you're like, oh my God, why do I have to run to a bathroom?
Yeah.
Why do I hate my life after eating this? What was I doing?
Yeah,
today?
exactly.
Well, congratulations on kicking that habit, man. We appreciate the call.
That's
Proud
huge.
of you. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take more of your calls and texts, and we'll also get you the keyword again for your chance at $1,000. I want to tell you about the advocates real fast. If you've been injured in an accident, you need more than a lawyer. You need an advocate. So reach out to them at advocateslaw.com. Ken and Donnie at the Advocates, they're really good people, and they've been doing this a long time. They know exactly what to do and exactly what to say to these insurance companies to make sure that they pay you what you're owed, because that's really all you're asking for. It's not like you're asking for a gajillion dollars just to help pay your bills. That's what you pay them every month for. That's what they should do. So reach out to them, advocateslaw.com. There is no risk to you, all right? They don't get paid until you win. So they really want you to win. They've actually gotten over $100 million for their clients.
Yeah.
And they want to take care of you. So if you've been injured in an accident, just focus on your recovery. Don't worry about the insurance companies. Let the advocates take care of that for you. Even if you're not sure if you have a case, just reach out to them, tell them your story. They'll be able to tell you either way, point you in the right direction. Tell them Tanner sent you, advocateslaw.com. That's advocateslaw.com.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
All right, cash is back. Your chance to win $1,000 from the Cash Squatch every hour right here on 105.9 The Brew. So think about what you're going to do with that money. Maybe you'll go to the grocery store, get a bunch of things. Maybe you'll put it in your savings. Maybe just get a bunch of lottery tickets and beer.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Whatever you want. Another keyword's coming up right after Blind Melons. Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Yeah. It's 105.9 The Brew, Portland's rock station. Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Happy Monday. We got a big week ahead of us. We got a lot of stuff to give away, like Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace tickets.
That's right.
Also, we got a Trash Bandits coming up on Saturday.
Yahoo!
We are cleaning up the area, the Lentz Park area. Actually, we're going to meet at the Lentz Park at 10 a.m. Saturday morning and then spread out to the neighborhood around that area and just clean it up. Pick up the garbage, the cigarette butts, the diapers.
All the things.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was at a stoplight just yesterday, and I was just counting the cigarette butts. You can never stop counting. You'll keep going and going and going.
I know.
They're everywhere.
And it may seem small because cigarette butts are small, but if you think about it, those get into the sewers and the storm drains and then into our water.
And animals, so, I think, maybe, I don't know, do animals eat them?
Yeah, I'm sure ducks
I'm
eat
pretty
them
sure
like
my 1-year-old was chewing one the other day at the park.
Probably.
We got to clean these up.
So we do have limited spots available. If you want to be a trash bandit, go and sign up at 1059thebrew.com. I think we got a talkback from Pew Boy this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, hit and run, right?
That's not it. Hold on.
It sounds like it.
Hit and run, baby. That's not it. Hold on. Is this it?
No,
that's not it. Where is this guy?
I don't know. Did you put it in?
I did.
Shout out to...
Oh, for God's sakes.
Where's the pube?
Pew Boy.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. I heard some of your shows this week. I've been in Arizona. I haven't gotten to hear a lot because I've been busy. I didn't get to hear who won the cook-off between Beefwater and Drew.
Drew won. By the way, he sounds haggard.
Yeah, he's been through it.
But that would have been cool. But, oh my gosh, my flight leaves at 6 in the morning to come back to Oregon. I can't wait. And obviously, I'm not going to sign up, but I will join you guys for Trash Bandits on the 19th.
Obviously.
So that should be fun.
Obviously, I'm not going to sign up. He can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah. It's been time after time. He just collapses at the finish line.
He makes it sound like it's our fault or whatever. I don't know what he says. Like, oh, I can't do it. It doesn't work. Dude, you're the only person who's having problem with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just sign up. You can sign, your name, and you can fill out if you're bringing your kids or something. You can put their names there.
I'm like, who does Pew Boy think he is? He's like, obviously, I'm not going to sign up, but I'll be there.
I don't need to do everything else everyone else has to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Pew Boy.
It's obvious. I'm not going to go through the steps.
Speaking of bad
but
habits,
he did show up to the last Trash Bandits.
No, yeah, he absolutely did. So I have faith that he'll be there this weekend. But speaking of bad habits, I'll bet he didn't kick his because he still sounds like he smokes 2 packs a day.
Well, he smoked cigarette. He cleaned with me last time and my kids and ripped heats right over the top of them for about an hour. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still in it.
All right, go and sign up now to be a Trash Bandito. We're doing it Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at Lentz Park. 1059thebrew.com is the website. We're commercial free. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
1059 The Brew, Portland's rock station. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Wanted to play this clip for you. A couple things happened at Coachella over the weekend. Weezer actually covered a Metallica song.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, Weezer, they've done this before. Weezer's covered Metallica before. I remember seeing the video. I think it was when they were with Fall Out Boy and it's that big stadium too.
Oh, Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did a Metallica song then. And then I remember reading the comments and people were ripping them like, this is lame.
Oh, no.
But, Weezer.
Well, I mean, I guess
he's
if you're a big Metallica fan and you hear Weezer doing it, you're like, nah.
Well, I mean, Rivers is a big Metallica fan, so he's just paying tribute to one of his favorites.
I feel like anytime you pay tribute to that band, it should be okay. It's like you're saying, okay, well, I'm a fan of this too.
Yeah, it is just kind of weird to hear Weezer, I guess, do Metallica.
It's different styles of music.
And this comes on the heels of the incident with the Weezer bassist's wife.
That is such a bonkers story. Like, have we found anything else about that?
So if you don't know exactly what happened, there was a hit and run the other day, and there was a police chase.
Yeah.
And the three suspects, I guess, when they crashed their vehicle, fled, and they kind of split up, and one of them ended up in the yard of the woman's home, the bass player's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The bass player for Weezer's wife's house. I guess he lives there too, right?
I mean, you would think so.
But he was out doing the Coachella thing.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't until this weekend.
Well,
so.
I think he was just not home.
Like rehearsing or something.
Yeah,
like he was involved in some.
Because some reporter caught up with him, like walking down the street, going, "Hey, you excited for Coachella this weekend? Tell me about your wife." He's like, "I can't talk about it."
Right.
So intense.
But this guy ended up. The suspect ended up in this woman's yard. The wife of the bassist of Weezer comes outside with a gun. Police are saying, "Hey, put the gun down." She's refusing to put the gun down. A shootout takes place, and she gets shot.
I just don't know why she would fire the gun. I think that's if she would have because if some strange guy is running through my backyard, maybe I'll bust out a gun too. But like when the cops come up and they're like, "Hey, don't shoot," and then she shoots, it's like,
and
what are we doing?
Did you know they were the police? I can't imagine you not knowing that they're the police, and they would say that they were the police.
Yeah, and they were probably dressed in uniform.
Well, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but they had a video on TMZ from her Instagram or whatever her social media where she would film herself at the gun range, like popping shots off. So I get the feeling that it's the give me a reason or the like you're not coming in this yard.
Gotcha.
That mentality over and over and over, and then when it becomes real, you're just way too trigger happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. She was arrested for attempted murder following a chaotic manhunt at the couple's home. So it's crazy. And then Weezer had to go up on stage and perform this weekend after all that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it gets pled down to like firing a firearm in a city without reason or cause or whatever they call that in California.
Murder seems aggressive.
Yeah, but just discharging the gun is illegal.
Yeah.
When you don't need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they went up there and Weezer did perform Enter Sandman from Metallica. Here's a little taste. It's not bad. I mean, it's not James,
All right.
Fans seem to love it. Musically, it sounds fine, right? It's just
good.
Rivers.
The tone of his voice is not quite.
Off to Neverland. Just very high pitched and whiny.
Yeah, and it is one of those deals where you would rather hear the crowd roar it than him, but at least he's got the crowd going.
And if you're a Weezer fan, I'm sure you loved it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember when I saw Deftones, I think at the Roseland, Chino is a massive Weezer fan, and they did like a Weezer medley. It was like just
Which also is interesting in like the reverse way.
Yeah, because you wouldn't think Deftones, Weezer and Deftones, but Chino loves the Deftones, and you can kind of hear it on the first record. You can kind of hear him singing a little like it.
Yeah, so they're a fan of something themselves, and so maybe sometimes they just do it for them.
Yeah, they were just having fun.
All right. You can see the video. We'll put it online here in just a few moments. 1059thebrew.com. Click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura, because who really wants to go to Coachella?
Not me.
When you can just click and sit at your house.
Yeah. For free. Mm-hmm. Sounds terrible, Coachella. 1059thebrew.com. We're going to give you this hour's keyword for your chance at a grand next.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
So, when you buy new clothes from the store, do you wash them before you wear them, or do you just wear them?
Usually I will wash them because you never know who's tried them on first or where they've come from.
That's a good idea, I guess. I never wash the clothes before I wear them. I as a matter of fact, love the way they come from the stores, all crisp and everything. Like I'll go, especially if it's like a new shirt, like a new button-up shirt that I like.
Yeah.
I'll try to go as long as I can without washing it.
An outer layer like that, yeah, you can definitely try and get some longevity. A new pair of jeans, I mean, and you know this, Tanner, you buy a new pair of black jeans, they're never as black as day one.
Right.
That's true.
And so there's some of that. You know, now granted somebody might have tried them on before me, but the amount of hand railings and things that I touch throughout the day, I can grind through that.
Sometimes if you grab one from the top, and I try that one on, I'll just
grab another.
Put that one back and then grab the one from the very bottom that's all nice and crisp and folded.
Oh, wow.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I won't do it with the jeans, though, because the jeans, I find that the same cut is not always the same.
I see,
which is the
So, like,
worst.
I got to put those cheeks into that pair.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why I can't order them online. That's a major mistake. I buy jeans online. They always end up in a pile under my TV in my room.
Yeah, I never wash my clothes before I put them on after I buy them, but apparently you should. So, Laura, you're doing the right thing. There's a guy who worked in he actually worked in a dressing room, like a fitting room. You know, he was that dude who would just clean it up and everything and
sees everything.
I was that person once.
Really?
Yeah, I
Did
saw
you ever
some nasty stuff.
Did you ever get ringworm?
I never saw. Oh, I mean, I don't know.
It's just
maybe.
laying dormant in her right now. Eventually.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone get ringworm, but I saw some nasty things in the dressing room.
Yeah, this guy posted a video. He's a content creator. And he posted a video on the internet saying that, quote, when you buy new clothes, please wash them. He was begging people, please wash them. I know that when you buy something new, you just want to wear it, but I got ringworm from working in the fitting room of a big clothes retailer.
Oh, my God.
But you're like in the muck all the time. You know, like me peeling one shirt. And like you said, when you grab it off the bottom or whatever, and you almost can, I feel like there's times you look at a shirt and you're like, that's never been tried on.
You can tell like that. Yeah, nobody's
Yeah.
like
That thing's got serious hard corners.
But other times, people will just try on clothes, leave it wadded up in the corner of the dressing room,
Right.
and then you
I always hang it up, but I still leave it in there.
straighten it out, you put it back on the hanger, and then you put it out. But who knows how many times it's been through that
I know.
before you
I think about that a
purchase
lot.
it.
Like how many times did people, because I'll try something on, it just didn't fit, it's too big or too small, and how many other times did people do that?
Right.
Throwing that stuff on the ground is so ridiculous too. Like I liken that to you know, like you try some on, don't like it, spike it, go get another one so someone has to pick it up.
Right.
That's like throwing the tray away at a fast food
I
restaurant.
know. I don't. I've
You're
never
being
understood.
ridiculous.
Yeah, just put it back on the hanger.
Yeah,
for God's
that's
sake.
what
like I
do,
never
yeah.
hang it right, but I'm trying to get it back on there.
I'll try to fold a t-shirt like they do in the store. I never do, but
Nobody will buy what I've done with it, but it
I'll
helps.
at least, I won't leave a pile of clothes for them. I'll at least put them on the hanger. I'll leave them in there still, but I'll put them on the hanger.
Or at least if you can't do it right, like say you're compromised, like your brick dude hands won't work, at least hand them to the person like, hey, I didn't need these.
Right, and I worked at a prom dress store, and it was like these gowns were hundreds of dollars, and women and girls would just like leave them balled up on the floor. And I'm like, what are we doing?
But apparently ringworm can spread through clothing, towels, and bedding if it has
Ew.
not been disinfected by someone with ringworm.
Think about that next time you're laying on your Airbnb couch, your face just
I know.
slurped up
yeah.
on some velvet.
You know what I'm afraid
Forget
of?
about the fitting room. What about your hotel room?
Hotel rooms and Airbnbs, I'll never touch those throw pillows.
Throw pillows
I'll
and
never
couches
touch 'em.
are both off limits.
Because, like, you know, I know what I do to throw pillows. There's one time I was in a hotel. It was in Vegas or somewhere. I had like a throw pillow between my legs, and I got to thinking, you know, how many other people have done this? And I don't think
Plenty.
they clean the pillows.
No, I feel that way about the chair that's always in the corner of the hotel room too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sitting on that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the sketchy dude sitting on that just
Yeah.
crack out.
I think this is a great idea. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Picture Arts and Sciences is introducing a new category, which I cannot believe has not been a category until just now.
All right.
Oscars are adding Best Stunt Design
Oh.
as a category starting next year in 2027.
I like
So has there been best stunt, just not best
Never.
stunt
I don't
design?
think they did anything with stunts.
Which is unfair because it's especially back in the day, it's the very reason that you go see an action movie.
Dude, these guys like bust their bodies for a shot, for 1 2-second shot. And they absolutely should be getting Oscars, even if it was like during a commercial break. For God's sakes.
I agree.
Remember that dude? I can't remember. I think it was the movie. I think it was called. What was the movie where the guy broke his femur and they used it in the trailer?
Oh, it's from the one with.
It's got that SNL guy in it.
Yeah, it's got the guy from Lonely Boys or whatever. No, the D in a Box guy.
What the hell's
Adams,
his-
Andy
Oh,
Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yeah.
It's the one where he's like a little like child daredevil or he's
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the movie, but if you go and Google the trailer, the guy, there's a stuntman in the movie that breaks his femur. And like the guy had to retire from being a stuntman after that. But
Yeah.
like, the whole idea in Hollywood is like if you get injured during the stunt, they have to use that shot.
It's called Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah, they have to use that stunt, and you can see him like just his femur folds.
Ouch.
Writhing in pain. And who would have thought he could have got an Oscar for that if it was qualified back then?
Like I was just watching. There's this TikTok that talks about stunts in movies, and they showed a stunt from Back to the Future 2. Remember when the guys are on the hoverboards and they fly through the courthouse windows and they kind of crash to the ground? Well, that stunt went wrong. All three of them are supposed to go through the windows and fall. Well, if you watch the movie, one of the stuntmen, it's a stunt woman. She clips the pillar outside, and she's supposed to go through the glass, but she clips the pillar and falls, and there was no padding there. And she fell like 30 feet and broke a bunch of bones.
Ow! But
And
the shot was great.
They used the shot in the movie because she bounces. She hits the concrete and bounces like a foot in the air. And I didn't know that. And in the movie, it's in there.
That's wild.
And she should have gotten an Oscar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risk to these stunts. You know, it's like we're like, oh, well, it's all fake and staged. It is staged, hopefully, to not hurt you too bad, but you get
Things
hurt.
go wrong, you know?
And
get
that's
hurt.
why it's so impressive that like Tom Cruise does all of his own because these stunt people are specifically trained to do that kind of stuff.
Is he doing 100% still?
I don't know.
Because I feel like at his age, like when they're pulling him through a brick wall,
There's
got to
be some little things that he probably won't do.
There's got to be a dude who just at least stands there so he's not in the monotony of it.
Yeah, I bet you there's something. You know, but like the big elaborate stuff, like in the trailer for the new Mission Impossible, he's hanging from like the landing gear of a biplane.
Yeah.
And it's pretty badass.
And didn't he like have the American flag and land at the Olympics?
Yeah, that's how they teased the
The new
LA
one.
Olympics. Yeah.
Man, just imagine what he's going to do next when it actually gets here.
So
I know.
good for stunt men and women because they deserve Oscars, and I'm happy to see a
Absolutely.
category added for them next year. So
yeah,
For all the things they put their body through.
All that hot rod.
Yeah. 1059thebrew.com is the website. We're going to find out what's trending next. By the way, this hour's keyword for your chance at $1,000 from the Cash Squatch, if you missed it, is bank.
Bank.
So log on 1059thebrew.com. As soon as you get there, a box will pop up. Type in the keyword bank for your chance at $1,000.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
What's trending?
A lot of good stuff on the website at 1059thebrew.com. Actually, you got to check out our Instagram because we talked about it a little on Friday, but Lettuce Face saw Laura sleeping in her studio the other day.
Yeah.
It was Friday, I guess. When was it?
Thursday. It must have been Thursday.
Thursday after the show.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. In the picture, you can tell that Laura is dead weight. Like she she told me she was out for like, what, an hour and a half?
Hour and a half. Yeah.
And you in the video, it's just a photo, but you can tell, like, you know how when you go to school and first period, you just fall asleep?
Just fall asleep on the desk.
That's how she did it.
That's me. And one of my friends over the weekend was like, I saw that picture and I thought it was fake because that just looks so uncomfortable. And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
But you are classically overworked. Like, you're always here. So I can only imagine where you would find me if I did some of the hours.
She thinks she's got narcolepsy.
Honestly,
but you
because
would have to have passed out in here once over the last years long.
I know, and
for
I
that
don't
to be
think
possible.
because like it's not like I am falling asleep driving or like while I'm talking with you guys, like mid sentence or anything like that.
You're
so
human
I know it's
Vicodin.
it's not really narcolepsy, but it is a little concerning because like when I get tired, it just like overtakes me.
Like you're done. As soon as you're tired,
I'm like,
party's
I
over.
have to sleep now. So nighty night. And it's
wherever you are. That's
and it's to the point where like I don't even care. Like the fact that somebody got a picture of me sleeping, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At least you got a little bit of sleep.
I was so tired.
Yeah. I remember you were kind of like, I thought there was something wrong on Thursday. Because like I even asked her, is everything okay? She goes, I'm just sleepy.
I'm ready
really
for bed.
Tired.
And then
she took care of that.
She goes and sleeps in the studio, does zero work, and then just comes into the brew studio afterwards. She goes, I'm going home.
Yeah.
And she went home and took another nap before she finished.
Before I finished my work. So it was a long day.
Yeah.
With a big nap in the middle.
Well, follow us on Instagram at 1059thebrew and at Tanner, Drew, and Laura to see Laura sleeping peacefully like a little angel.
And the comments, I mean, people had jokes.
Yeah.
People had jokes.
Let me pull some of these up.
I don't appreciate
Some people are like, oh, it must be really nice to get paid to sleep.
Yeah,
some people were like upset about it.
Leave me alone. Wow. Okay, I get up at 4 a.m. And I'm sure other people get up at 4 a.m. and don't take a nap in the middle of the day.
But most people don't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The hours are obnoxious.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull these up because the comments, there were so many comments. 24 different comments here. It says,
goodness sakes.
Must be nice to get paid to sleep at the office.
Yeah.
This one says, it's hard getting up at 3 a.m. in the morning to go to work. It says it catches you and then you just collapse, according to Junior Mint.
Yeah.
This person says, is she back to drinking on the weeknights?
Yeah, it wasn't a hangover nap, believe it or not.
This guy says he used to work graveyard. Totally gets where you're coming from, Laura.
Yeah.
This one says breakfast burritos hit a little bit different.
Yeah. I wish it was a food coma.
This one says I used to work thirds doing tech support. On a busy night, we would have 8 calls, and then they would rotate between one other guy, and sometimes 4 hours would go between calls. 4 hours would go by, so they would just take turns napping.
Just get so tired out of boredom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Go check it out. Someone said, who's snitching? Beefwater took the photo.
Yeah, it was Beef. But then Tanner posted the photo. It was a group effort.
If you fudge the line on sleep here long enough, you're going to fall asleep standing up or at a stoplight. So at least you did it in a safe place. Some of the places where I kind of came out of it before, I'm like, I'm glad we're all alive.
Right.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the freeway once. The only thing that woke me up was the on the road.
That's very scary.
Those things are great. Thank God for those.
Yeah, that's what I said. And I took the first rest stop that I could find was like 10 minutes down the road, and I slept for like half an hour, and that's all I needed.
Right. Sometimes a little power nap is all you need.
It's scary, and whoever came up with those little things is genius.
It's actually the parents of a kid who was killed by falling asleep at the wheel, or by someone who fell asleep at the wheel, and how many lives have they saved?
Oh, for sure.
Dude, I would be dead. At least
over and
seriously injured. I was going 80 miles an hour.
I would have gone through 9 lives. A cat would have been dead.
It freaked me out. As soon as I woke up from I went, oh my God. I rolled the windows down. I cranked the radio up. Like I'm doing everything I can just to make it to the rest stop.
Yeah, because those things don't kid around. When you hit those, you know it.
Yeah.
So at least, Laura, at least you've never done that.
That's true.
Go check out the picture at 1059 The Brew or at Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We just got a lot of good stuff online. Donkey Show podcasts. You can see the Beat My Meat competition from Friday. Yeah. Of course, Drew came out victorious. Yeah, he's the big winner of the first ever Beat My Meat competition.
That was a very delicious cut of meat, Drew.
That was a serious piece of meat to play with, too. It was like, to screw that up, if you turn that into a shoe, you'll never hear the end of it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out. The anxiety was worth it.
Yeah, and they really were so good. Both the steaks were so good, but Drew's was just a little better.
Yeah,
Maybe I say even a lot better.
It was pretty good.
It was more flavorful. It was juicy. It was delicious.
We had promised everyone that we would split it up, so like what I really wanted to do was bring a fat plate of that down here and us just sitting like a seal hover it over each other's mouths. But we made good on that promise and everybody got some of that.
Yeah. And then Beefwater, he says he's not butthurt, but I think he is a little bit.
He's
I'm
like,
sure
stop talking about it. It's over.
he's ready for his rematch, Start the next season.
Right. Well, we'll get to it eventually, but right now he's let his face for the next week.
Yeah, and he's rocking that romaine around his neck, which is pretty impressive.
Can we take a picture of that?
I put it up
It's
already.
up.
It's all
You can
part.
check it out right now.
Go check it out. 1059 The Brew on Instagram and all the other things.
And Instagram.
Instagram and Instagram.
And yeah.
Your chance at a grand is coming up right after Evanescence. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Bye.